Hey everyone, welcome back to another Chill Quest. My name is Chili, and today I'm going to be leading you down a tunnel, doing a character profile of somebody who I think is a pretty negative impact on Neopia as a whole. I kind of consider them to be a villain, if I'm being completely honest. I feel that this person cultivates toxic relationships. I think they're very selfish, and that they would sell their best friends up the river for a snack cake. There's tons of characters within Neopian history and lore that we could be profiling. Some of them are good characters, and some of them are not so good characters. And I think this one lives in the lower gray area. Okay, I think that they are bad, but I want to know what you think. Maybe I'm judging them too harshly. I'm obviously not going to go throwing around medical diagnoses or anything like that. All I really want to do is I want to take a look at this character's personality, at their history, at their actions, and then I want you to let me know what you think at the end of the day. That's all I ask, okay? So follow me on this journey as we go behind the pixels. And for this very first episode, we are going to do an expose on none other than Brucey B. Let's get into it. I hacked into Dr. Sloth's computer and I found some very interesting information about Brucey B. This dossier. His psychological profile paints the picture of somebody who is skating the line between living in absolute luxury with their gambling winnings and having a very carefree lifestyle, and being destitute and addicted and feeling deep, deep feelings of hopelessness. When Brucey B was a young and impressionable Bruce, he actually entered the job market as a bingo caller, and a lot of people believe that this is what gave him his original taste for gambling. While many Neopians are destined to have a career like opening their own shop in the marketplace or maybe working at a plushie factory for Plushie Tycoon, Brucey B always wanted more for his life. He always dreamed of striking it rich and living the high life and, doing as little work as possible. Fate, however, had other plans, as it often does. One fateful day, Brucey stumbled upon a lucky coin, whose origin is likely unknown, but it would change his life forever. And it significantly changed his luck. He even won at the scratch card kiosk using his lucky coin to scratch it off. And this started to fund a snowball of gambling that rolled downhill towards ruin. Our story begins at the annual Neopian Cheat Championships. With over 250,000 Neopoints at stake, Neopets from all corners of Neopia had gathered, hoping to snag the trophy, the money, and of course earn the coveted title of Neopia's biggest cheat. And this year the competition featured some familiar faces. Brucey B, Double O Hog, Princess Fernie Poo, Capera the Kyrie, and amidst the sea of hopefuls, what chance did these little nobodies have? Most likely, this would be a crushing defeat, just like last year. The hall buzzed with energy, packed with players from across the globe as the first round started. Brucey B started off the competition on quite a hot streak. Every card that he needed came his way. It was almost like they just appeared in his hand as soon as he thought about them in his mind. And his smiles turned to chuckles and then full-blown laughter, for tonight was his night, and nobody could stop him. Brucey's lucky coin, a golden medallion, was impossible to miss, especially for Dr. Sloth, who was watching him on TV. After the tournament, Brucey gets in his probably white Corvette and he drives himself home. And when he arrives, he apparently smokes a whole bunch of really, really dank chronic. And then he sees this note on his door. Congratulations on your performance in the recent Cheat Championships. I am impressed. I'm cordially inviting you to a private game tomorrow on the 14th day of relaxing. The minimum buy-in will be 100,000 Neo points, and I'm sure this will not pose a problem for you. Looking forward to seeing you there. Yours sincerely, R. Now, of course, this got Brucey so excited because this is a great opportunity for him to go gamble more, win more money, and he's the very definition of not leaving well enough alone. So his flippers started to get all sweaty, and he started breathing really hard, and he was already thinking about the next white Corvette that he was going to buy and how much money he was going to win and everything. He was halfway out the door by the time the phone rang. So the phone rings and Bruce picks it up and he hears, "Congratulations, Brucey," on the speakerphone. And it's Kapara, his Kyrie friend and his sister wife. And he's like, "Hey, Kapara." And she's like, "Hey, I heard that you won. That's fantastic news. What are you going to do with all that money?" And Brucey's like, "Well, I've got great news. I'm actually going to go to another tournament and I'm going to win, Kapara, because there's no way that I can lose." And Kapara's like, "Don't you dare, you fucking idiot. You know what happened last time. This is clearly a pattern of behavior, Brucey B. Like, you need help. This is a cry for help. You need to put that money straight into the National Neopian, and you need to just sit down. I'm coming to your house right now. I'm going to make sure that you do it." But Brucey, of course, was like, okay, because he knows that he's got all these fucking enablers in his life, so he's never going to hit rock bottom or have to change. So he knew. He knew he was going to go gamble tomorrow. So this thick-headed shit for brains shows up at the fucking Grundo warehouse to play these games of cards, and it's dark, and he's like, what the fuck did I just get myself into? And so his dumbass is definitely getting hustled right now. So the Jetsam says, if you're willing to bet your lucky coin for everything that I have left, I'm willing to do that. We're down to the last hand anyways. So Brucey gets punked into it, like the little punk-ass punk bitch that he is. And he's like, you know what? I'm actually feeling lucky. I'll do it. So the Jetsam pushes all of his coins in, and Brucey pushes all of his coins in. Jetsam says he has a 4. Brucey's like, that's cheating. I just laid down all the 4s. But the Jetsam says, I'm not cheating, and he flips over the 4 of diamonds. Bitch, what the hell? But Brucey's like, that can't be. But they take his coin anyways. And then they laugh at him, and then they kick him out of there like he just ran out of $1 bills at a cheap strip club. At this point, Brucey B has lost his lucky coin, he's lost all of his winnings, and now he has to go home and explain to Kapara why he can't get her a Brazilian booty lift. So our throuple is sitting together on the couch, and he is looking very, very guilty because he's good at acting, and he's explaining to them that he gambled all of their money away because he's an idiot. And Kapara is having none of this because she wanted her Brazilian booty lift, and she's like, stop it, you took advantage of a winning streak, like, you need to just go get a real job, is giving top mommy energy, and we love that for her. But Fernie Poo, on the other hand, is rubbing his back, even though he probably smells like Fritos and is sticky, and she's telling him that they're going to get the coin back. And this is where I really honestly start to hate Brucey B. This man has done nothing but make selfishly motivated decisions up until this point, and then now, since his gambling fix is gone, he's going to try to put these ladies in danger? You deserve better, ladies. Get out of there. Boo this man! Boo, Brucey B. I hate you. But Kapara is ride or die, so she's like, why wouldn't we help you? Of course, we know how important this is to you. Like, Brucey B, you are a borderline gambling addict, and we don't have, like, the interpersonal skills to be able to help you work through this. So instead, we're just gonna, like, I don't know, we're gonna continue to be codependent, and I guess we're gonna try to go on a little journey with our stupid dog down here who likes to hug trees, and we are just gonna do our absolute best. And Brucey, the eternal idiot optimist, is like, I think we might just have a shot, which, god damn it, Brucey B. God damn it. No, you don't. This is the point in the plot where we see who the real mastermind is, who the Jetsam was actually trying to get the coin for, and drumroll please, and no surprise, it was actually none other than Dr. Sloth, of course, because, like, you know, who will? We return to our heroes, and I use that term loosely, as they walk around and they show everybody clues and pictures of Jetsam, which are pretty pro-drawn, honestly, trying to see if they can find where he is. So they get led to an area where somebody's like, hey, why don't you go ask the Braintree, because he knows everything. So they walk into the haunted woods, and they finally get within sight of the Braintree, and as they approach it, it looks Brucey B dead in his stupid fucking face, and it says, Brucey B, I have been waiting for you. Which is honestly such a hard and like fucking cold ass thing for a tree to say to you. Like that would make me afraid. But he tells him the coin is far away and that he's gonna have to travel through the haunted woods if he wants to get there, and they better hurry up because it's about to be night. Fernie Pooh and Kapara are like, what the fuck? Nobody's ever made it through the haunted woods. Why would we want to go there? But Brucey B, being the absolute piece of shit that he is like, well, you know, this material possession is like really important to me. And although nobody's ever survived, I really think that even though you two are my wives and I'm supposed to like super love you, I'm actually going to just go ahead and risk your lives to try to get this because this is what enables my gambling. Literally moments later, things are not going well for Brucey B. Fernie Pooh is getting whomping willowed, and Kapara is also about to get eaten by a pack of wolves. So not a great plan. So then Sloth and his minions, his little Grundo himbos, show up at the Lost Desert, and they decide that they need to get inside of this Sphinx. But apparently don't know how to get inside of this Sphinx. And in true Dr. Sloth fashion, he's all just like, Plan B! And they just start like blasting the living shit out of the walls. Somehow shooting the living fuck out of it didn't work, so he's gonna have to come up with a better plan now. Our crew somehow bumblefucks their way through the haunted woods, and they end up at the Lost Desert, where they find this super old techo who tells them that the Jetsam and the Sloth are over in the pyramid, and even lets them use his telescope, which Brucey B can't use because he has baby soft hands and can't drive a stick. But he finally gets it focused, and we see one of the best flexes in Neopian history right here. This Jetsam is like fully aware of the fact that Brucey is watching him, and he just waves like, like, are you serious? Like, Brucey's so fucked. This has the energy of when 303 said, tell your boyfriend if he says he's got beef that I'm a vegetarian and I ain't fucking scared of him. Iconic. So at this point, Sloth is just pissed, and he's pitching a bitch fit. And he's just like, I can't believe you couldn't get me into this pyramid. You've failed me. And he's just like crying everywhere and like snot bubbles and stuff. And so he says he's gonna get bigger blasters. Like, yeah, shoot it harder, fucking idiot. But he has this coin in his hand, and he's screaming at these guys like a little Veruca Salt. I want it now. And he throws the coin somehow into this perfect little coin slot hole. And of course, that's enough to get them into Jabba's palace. The Sphinx. So, like Brendan Fraser in The Mummy Returns, they descend into the catacombs of the tombs, and Sloth sees this marking on the wall that looks a lot like the other coin. You may remember that he just threw that coin into the wall, so I'm not sure how he got it back, but it was enough to open up the area into the treasury. Now, they do mention in the subtitles here that it's beyond Sloth's wildest dreams, which I find a little pathetic. Like, Sloth, you gotta dream a little bit better, buddy. Like, this is not even one Scrooge McDuck room full. Jetsam is getting all drippy whippy, and Sloth finally finds what he's been looking for. And we get this awesome anime reveal, too. Gotta love it. So Brucey and the rest of them are sneaking up to the base of this pyramid and are hanging out at the side of the pyramid, and Brucey's getting very anxious and restless. He wanted that coin back so bad he couldn't think about anything else. It was driving him crazy, like he was Smeagol with the ring or something. Like he could probably hear it screaming in his ear, like, find me, Brucey B. Gamble more, I am the cheat coin. And he was like, yes, I will absolutely do that. Unfortunately, Brucey didn't really make a plan for what they were going to do once they got there. So the three of them just kind of crouched on a set of stairs, and they watched the Grundo Himbo army as they ran around between these gigantic hundreds of beautiful, colorful tents with these crazy buff Grundos. So what are we going to do now, Mr. Mastermind? Kapara asked. I don't know, said Brucey. We could always try what happens in my adventure books, where we wait until dark and then we sneak into the enemy base. Fernie Pooh let out an audible groan. This was turning into her worst nightmare. But without a better plan, they waited until the sun began to fall, and they quietly tiptoed through the tents until they had arrived at the feet of the pyramid. They walked through the twists and turns of the pyramids. As they were walking, they must have taken a wrong turn, because they ran smack dab into the Jetsam and Sloth. He immediately started chasing them and went after Kapara first, turning her into a pet. And then he turned his magical staff onto Princess Fernypoo, and he zapped her into a nasty transmogrified beast. But don't you worry, our guy, Brucey B, in here for himself, he got away safely. He always does. Just sitting here like, whew, good thing I'm okay. I hate this man. Sloth has the Grundo Himbo army clean out the entire treasury and crate it up and load it onto his ship. And while Jetsam is overseeing that, he comes up to Sloth and says, "Hey Sloth, can I talk to you for a minute? You know, we're loading all of the treasure up, and when do we get our share?" And Sloth is like, your share? Like, bro, that's pretty fucked up. And Sloth says, "Shut up, or I will give you another scar to match the one you currently have," which is really fucked up. But he gives him like 4 gold coins because he's incredibly disrespectful and tells him he can split it amongst his guys. Back with our gang, they are trying to reunite with Dr. Sloth. And apparently, Brucey B decides that the best way to pass the time during this excruciating walk is to make jokes about Princess Fernypoo and Kapara's new bodies, which is so fucked up because, like, he's the cause for them anyways, but he gets bit on the nose by Kapara for it. And then there's this very sad dialogue about how Fernypoo is, like, very quiet and how she's not complaining about her dress or her hair or anything. They return to Sekhmet City, and it has been a little fucked up, and the Gnarl shopkeeper is muttering something under his breath, kind of like he has the staff, the great staff, but it can't be, like, nobody could ever know how destructive it is. It's been lost for thousands of years. But he came here and he destroyed my shop. And Kapara, who is now just in a terrible mood and couldn't take any more of his gibbering, slapped him hard across the face with her tail. And the Grarl looks stunned for a second, and then he turns to Brucey B and he whispers, "You must get the staff. He could easily destroy all of us. You must save us." Which, like, yeah, this is definitely the face that you would want to be in charge of your destiny, right? Like, yeah, let's trust this guy. Fuck Brucey B. So meanwhile, Sloth decides that he's going to take his new little toy into Sekhmet City, and he is going to destroy everything in sight, leaving just like a wake of destruction behind him, which is how Brucey B and them actually find him in the first place, is through his trail of destruction. Sekhmet City got a little bit of word in advance that he was coming, and so they start to close all of the gates and pile all of their, pots and pans and brooms in front of the door, as you do, to try to keep him at bay. Unfortunately, Sloth's army marches right up to the walls, and they're able to breach the gates and come in and immediately start blasting the fuck out of everybody. Sloth just starts blasting people with impunity and turning them into these nasty transmogrified monsters. And it's starting to look a little crazy for the people of Sekhmet City, but they start to turn the battle around. It is kind of like a Neopian 300 at the end of the day. Sloth sees that his forces are starting to get defeated, so he summons a fucking rock beast up from the ground, just like that's a normal thing that you can do within a battle. What an asshole. So now the people of Sekhmet have a rock beast Rancor to contend with, as well as the Himbo army. But they were incredibly tough and brave, and they did not fuck around when it came to their town, so they somehow managed to kill the rock beast, and they start to encroach upon the tower to get to Sloth. Sloth is trying to reanimate the rock beast, and in a very un-Brucey B-like moment, he runs up the tower, and he throws himself at Sloth and starts trying to take the staff from him. Now, I'm not entirely sure why Sloth didn't just turn Brucey into a crazy monster right here, like he did with everybody else, but I guess that's neither here nor there. Brucey gets into a WWE match with Sloth, and he gets thrown holding onto the staff and is able to break it, making it fart everywhere and releasing its magic smoke so that it can lift the curse on Kapara. She gets back to normal, and so does Fernypoo, and everybody's back in their normal bodies. Sloth bitch slaps Brucey B and runs away, much like he normally does, and he gets up to the top of the tower, which is apparently also a rocket ship. I don't know why they built that into Sekhmet City, but he's like, "I'll get you, Brucey B," like he's Inspector Gadget, and we don't see him until the next plot. We are back in our palatial, beautiful throuple home, and Brucey B is kicked back. I'm sure that Fernie Pooh and Kapara had to unpack his suitcase for him, because I can guarantee he doesn't do that. Relaxing and happy to be back. And Kapara mentions that she's really sorry that they went through all that for nothing. And this motherfucker pulls the coin out. He Christopher Walkens all of us and just pulls it out of his anus and shows it to everybody. Brucey B, could you be so fucking for real right now? So I guess at the end of the day, in some roundabout, fucked up way, Brucey B did actually achieve in proving his point, that he is the biggest cheater in all of Neopia. He's the biggest liar, he's the best manipulator, he's the most toxic friend that could ever fool you into spelunking through a probably cursed pyramid and almost getting killed by a Grundo Himbo army, and a pissed off Jet Sam. Just so you can get his lucky coin back, so he can magically find his coin at some point in time and insert it up his anus and then not tell you about it until you're safely back home. So, 10 out of 10, fuck you, Brucey Bees. If you were my friend, you would not be my friend for long. So thank you so much for joining me today for this first episode of Behind the Pixels. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments who you would like me to do next. And next time life gets a little too heavy, feel free to come on back here for another chill quest.